We've got a lot of injuries to cover. AJB out multiple weeks. Kupp out multiple weeks, probably going on IR. Puka out 5 to 7 weeks. Deebo Samuel now out multiple weeks. Isaiah Pacheco out 6, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and CMC out 6+ weeks. This is a absolutely devastating board right here. We also have the Falcons beating the Eagles in a game. The Eagles shouldn't have lost that game. London catching a touchdown at the end of the game, salvaging his early kind of disappointing season as people go running away from Drake London. And even as late as like the third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter, seeing comments everywhere. Drake London's cooked. He's done. He's trash. Now he scores a touchdown. But does he go to the moon? Maybe, maybe not. I'm saying we buy low, and I think there's still an opportunity to do so. And there's a lot of panic amongst people looking at Bijan, who did very well getting a bunch of carries, but the touchdowns aren't there. The production isn't there. The offense looks stagnant. It really does. Mooney catching a touchdown, 88 yards and a touch. Drake London, 54 yards and a touch. Bijan catching 4 balls for 25 yards, but the 14 carries, 6.9 a pop, not getting the volume. The touchdowns aren't there. Kirk Cousins, very much, you could say he did good at the end of that game. He certainly extended his life if he was on a short leash at all. Losing 2 games would have been devastating for that length of that leash. But now all of a sudden it's all open back up for Kirk Cousins. But maybe he gets better. Maybe he starts getting the offense going. Maybe they start cooking with Bijan. It's all up in the air. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. The Fantasy Football Show, Falcons beat the Eagles reaction show, Drake London buy low show, and injuries to AJB, Kupp, Puka, Deebo Samuel, Pacheco, and CMC all out for multiple weeks. That show, the Panic Show, begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Just crazy injuries. Deebo is in some trouble. The Niners are in some trouble. The Niners are in shambles. The Cardinals might win the West. They might win the division because I don't think Seattle's going to win it. Seattle's got some upside. I'm not saying they don't have hidden, value and such. And I know that the Rams are capable, if they get healthy, of bouncing back. But how far behind will they get? And the Niners losing to Sam Darnold and the Vikings, and now they lose Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams is not playing up to par. This is a very concerning situation. It makes me think, like, what happens to Brock Purdy's contract situation if the Niners finish the season very flat? And what if the Niners don't even make the playoffs? Now, you can say, well, pump the brakes, bro. Pump the brakes. I know. I'm just telling you, 2 of the most devastating injuries this year are on the board. They're both Niners. The best wide receiver on the 49ers roster and the best running back in the National Football League and the best running back on the roster. Now, Mason's there to save the day. Masonites unite. Definitely love Mason, but this team is in shambles right now. And losing to Minnesota against Sam Darnold in a revenge game, like you'd almost bet your life on that kind of thing. I almost did. Like, that is crazy. So Pacheco being out 6 weeks, we got to cover what that is. He could be out 6 to 10 weeks. He could be out even longer, just depending on how quickly he heals up. But 6 to 8 weeks is the window of time. Do you pick up Carson Steele? Do you pick up P. Ryan? And then we got this information brewing right here where we got to visit Kareem Hunt visiting KC. What's this going to mean? So Isaiah Pacheco expected to be sidelined 6 to 8 weeks. The Chiefs are bringing in former running back Kareem Hunt, to KC for a Tuesday visit, per league sources. Hunt could help fill in the Chiefs running back void. Now, does he just fill the void? I said this on my earlier show when someone said, do you think they bring someone in? They, of course, bring someone in or rise someone up. because you have a starting player that goes down. You have an opening. You have to fill the void. Does this mean he goes to the top spot? Not necessarily. Now, Carson Steele did lose a fumble, but in week number 2. But then Andy Reid threw him back out there in the game, trusted him, and Carson Steele was doing pretty good. He churns out a lot of yards. Hunt can adapt to the system very quickly, so it's not like he'll be kind of out of his mind going in and trying to learn everything. It's tough to say. Like, if we go to the waiver wire board right now, we definitely got to put Kareem Hunt on the waiver wire board, and you could even say that he moves up into like a territory like this right now. I still think Allen's the best pickup talent-wise. I think Steele and Pirine are hard to guesstimate who's going to be the guy to pick up. So you could probably waiver on these 3 running backs, but Steele, Pirine, and Allen feel like the top dogs. Benson's my gem sitting in the weeds, the hidden giant, the sleeping giant, the rags to riches monster. Wright, same thing. You can write off Wright all you want. He didn't get a shot yet. So you're making a huge mistake just being bitter about the fact that he didn't get playing time. Davis is one of those guys too. Charbonnet has been on this board. He jumped up. Chase Brown's getting cut everywhere. If Zach Moss got injured tomorrow, this man would go to the moon. We've got a lot of players on here. Mason hasn't got the carries that he's getting right now in San Francisco since he was in high school. So Grendo could rise up. There's a lot of players on this running back board that have a lot of potential if something happens. Again, I put the crown on Allen's head because he's the most capable of being the biggest monster if injected into a starting role. But if you need now production, if you lost Pacheco, Steele and Pirine are hard to pass up, and Hunt is confusingly maybe just as good. We don't know. It's a very complex situation. Shaheed still available in a lot of leagues. The 3 Rams wide receivers come into play here as being some of the top pickup wide receivers of the week. Who's going to be the top dog? Is it Whittington? Because Whittington was the guy in the preseason. But when Puka went down, Johnson fit the role better to go straight in. Doesn't mean Whittington's not better than Johnson. Johnson filled the role. And now we're sitting here asking the question, which wide receiver becomes elite now that in a McVay system, one will become very, very good. Which one becomes very, very good now that they're all going to get playing time, maybe even equal playing time. Maybe Whittington climbs back up. He's got the most ceiling value, just the most risk. Demarcus Robinson has the most value and experience coming from 2023. He had about 5 or 6 receptions, if I remember correctly, per game when Kupp and Puka were both on the field with Demarcus Robinson, which is a crazy stat when you think about it. 5 to 6 targets a game. I believe it was 6. I believe it was above the 6 mark, but I'll say 5 to 6 to be safe. When Kupp and Puka, and they were on the field a lot, when they were on the field together, Demarcus Robinson was getting that many targets. It's tough to nail down. Speaking of Naylor is a player you might want to grab if you're in need of a wide receiver 3-4. He's been doing it 2 straight weeks. A.D. Mitchell going to get cut everywhere, and he's got a lot of talent just because he hasn't done it yet. You may have not noticed in week 1, he barely missed 2 touchdown grabs that would have had him over 100 yards, and he finished with nothing. Yoshi Voss, same kind of concept here. We had him as a potential gem for week 1. He did nothing. He went ahead and did it in week 2. Late bloomer. Mooney, go grab him if you need another wide receiver. Could be cowing season with Deebo out. Cowing could jump straight in and become something special. Wicks, he got on the map last week. Jennings still involved. Atwell, we make fun of him last week. Now he's back potentially in the mix for carry or touches because of the injury to the wide receiver room. There's a lot to look at here. Baker's still available in an uncomfortable amount of leagues. Great quarterback to grab as your 2 or potential injury flex, a super flex play. Parkinson, Henry, Okonkwo, Hill, Gesicki. These are the guys. This is your new revamped waiver wire coming out of week number 2. And we're sitting here looking at all of these injuries, and we say, what in the hell are we doing? This is a bloody Sunday, week 2, that we exit where we've been handed some of the biggest devastating injuries I've seen in a long, long time, and I've done this a while. I remember this. I remember the Breece Hall, Javonte Williams ACL tear season, the year of the ACL. That was bad. That was a rough season. Last year, we had a lot of quarterbacks go down. This year, it feels like we got big monster names going down, and it's weird that it's multiple weeks left and right. It's like injury. Could it be 1 week, 0 weeks? No, it's multiple weeks. Okay, Christian McCaffrey. Could it be 1 week, 0 weeks? No, multiple weeks. Okay, Cooper Kupp. Didn't look like it. Looked like it could have been a high ankle, but not a severe one. Could it be maybe 0 to 1 weeks? No, multiple, probably IR. AJ Brown, he's not going to play. Oh, wait, now multiple weeks. Puka Nakua could miss some time. Okay, let's put him out 5 to 7 weeks. It is wild to me how every single person on this board went from maybe missing a game or two to all of a sudden they've been mandated to miss 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. We're getting devastated here. And I don't know what to tell you all if you didn't grab Mason, if you didn't grab Steele and P. Ryan like I've been telling you to all off-season long, all in-season long so far. Backing up your players is vital in certain situations. Cowing, kind of a little side cuff if you want for Deebo, but him going down definitely ups the value of Mason, ups the value of Ayuk, who's been shaky, ups the value of George Kittle, probably decreases the value of Brock Purdy, and the entire Niner offense becomes a very vulnerable team. AJ Brown, obviously you saw tonight what happens if AJ Brown is out. Devontae Smith becomes a target hog. He had 9 targets, 7 receptions, and 76 yards and a touchdown. Goddard, 3 for 38. A lot to be desired across the board in terms of the receiving department, except for Devontae Smith and because he's a running back, Barkley, 4 of 21. Barkley had 95 yards, no touchdowns, could have had a score, could have had a nice reception at the end of the game to close the game out. He dropped the ball, so Barkley's going to be upset at himself and really hard on himself and ready to come take revenge on everybody next week and beyond. Hurts had a touchdown run, 13 carries, 85 yards on the ground. He had 1 touchdown, 1 INT, 183 through the air. Hurts and the Eagles definitely dropped the ball at the end of this game. Bijan could have had a whole lot more with his 97 yards when he's dropping 6.9 a tote, and he pulled in a pretty impressive 4 for 25. It was a good day for Bijan, but it was not great. It could have been a lot better had this team gotten him in a position to punch in some touchdowns. Very disappointing so far to not have Bijan scoring touchdowns when he's a scoring touchdown specialist. So we got panic potentially for Bijan owners, which is good news if you're in the buying game. If you're looking to buy a player on the low that you know is going to be amazing, then Bijan might be your guy. Now, London, you're going to have a mixed bag on. I don't think the touchdown for London, the late touchdown, is going to up his value so much that you can't buy him low still. I think he's still very much a buy low candidate. I don't think you go after him in a 1-for-1 deal. I think you kind of lay off the risk a little bit because there is some risk involved. The fact that he isn't getting the volume we might want, the talent's there for sure. He's one of the better contested catch people in the game, but he doesn't get the volume that he needs, and it's a strange offensive field right now. Even with the ending there, we still are a little bit holding our breath about Kirk Cousins getting the most out of everybody in the offense. I really think I'm worried about it. I'm sure you're worried about it. But in that, I will say that Penix Jr., once and if he gets in, I think it's not a matter of if, I think it's just when. We almost saw some momentum for it tonight, but then the win's going to buy him some more time. But I think once Penix Jr. gets in, again, not if, but when, because I think this old man Cousins, who played very well tonight, and we, hats off to him, standing ovation. Fantastic comeback, but it's still concerning. And when you see that him not getting the most out of this offense, you're hoping he comes around, he shakes the rust off, but it could be that he's getting older. It's a little harder for him to do things consistently, and there's going to be a short leash on him. If this team loses 2 more games, let's say, in a row versus winning 1, losing 1, winning 1, winning 1, losing 1, that's going to keep him in the lineup probably for a while because they're paying him a lot of money. But if he loses 2 games in a row, let's say, the next 2 games, you will see conversations brewing behind the scenes, and the fan base will be going nuts calling for Penix Jr. But Penix Jr. is going to help make this guy a star again. And so for me, I'm kind of looking at this from 2 angles. One, I'm going to buy because I think even though he could potentially have some volume struggles, he's still going to be worth what you're buying him at, the lower value, so I'm not concerned. I'm doing package deals. Maybe I'm concerned about my team and I'm trading a very well-playing wide receiver for a running back that I love that's a little bit underperforming. Maybe he had a great week 1 and not a great week 2, or a great week 2 and not a great week 1, and his owners are worried about him. Think like a Jacobs or something. So Jacobs had a great week, but he had a struggle bus week 1. People might not be completely sold on him. Or you go over to a running back like, let's call it, you could say Kyren, who's struggling. Let's say you have Barkley, and you're able to trade Barkley for Kyren because Barkley does have more appeal to most people than Kyren right now, especially with the Rams being in shambles. Maybe London can be a throw-in type piece, and then all of a sudden you're buying a running back you like equally to your Barkley, and you're getting a wide receiver. And this would be for people that need to make trades. Some of you don't need to make trades. Some of you send me your roster. I look at it, and you can win right now, and I'm going to tell you to stand down. I'm going to say stand down.
Alert. Stand down order.
Not everybody needs to make a trade, but if you do need to make a trade, guess what? You sometimes got to play, make trades and make a play, sending somebody away that you love. Sending somebody away that's playing very well. Some of you sent me your teams and you're like, I got to trade MHJ. And I say, you can't trade MHJ. He's doing amazing. And then I look at your roster and I say, you kind of got to trade MHJ because he's your only piece. You're riddled with injuries. You got Cooper Kupp. You had CMC with no Mason. And now you got MHJ and a mixed bag of players that can't win. They can't win. You, my friend, have to go after the Kyren in London using your MHJ. You, my friend, have to take your player like Tyreek Hill and say, let me downgrade to a Kyren and in London, or a Tank Dell and a player like JT. Let me trade my Hill for JT and Tank Dell. Let me do it live. Some of you have to take gambles that some of you might not want to take. Some of you have to take them. So we have to comb through the best buy lows for week number 3, and I'm going to do that show tomorrow, but you can bet your bottom dollar that Mahomes is going to be on it, Tank Dell's going to be on it, and a bunch of other players like Kyren and others will be on that list, as will this man right here. So buckle up for that week 3 buy low video that will be dropping tomorrow. And in the meantime, we've got to decide what you do. How do you get back on your horse? Is Steele the option for you? P. Ryan, the PPR option for you with your scoring? Or do you think you want to take a gamble on Kareem Hunt? Do you grab Steele and Kareem Hunt and say, out of these two guys, I'm getting a touchdown monster. I don't know which one yet, but I'm going to consume 2 spots till I figure it out. How do you do that? Smitty, you can't pick up 2 guys for 1 spot. I've never heard of such a thing before. Why don't you drop your kicker? All week long, you can hold Steele and Hunt and pick up your kicker in the 11th hour. Didn't think about that, Smitty. That's why we're here. So you might need to think outside of the box to solve a problem that either was an injury-driven issue that was out of your control, or you botched it. You didn't grab Mason. CMC got hurt, which was kind of out of your control and kind of not, because you knew he's 28 years old with a calf injury walking into the offseason. A guy that missed the entire second half in week 17 and screwed everybody out of winning a championship in week 17. He's 28 years old. If you put yourself in that position, we got to figure out how to get you out of this situation by sending a bunch of good talent, packing for multiple pieces that you do believe in that are buy lows. So again, waiver wire week number 3 on board right now. You can see it. We'll probably add to it throughout the week. This is the only show you'll find that is going to show you the waiver wire all week long. That means it adjusts, it adapts. We make sure to add people. We'll bring it up, pull it up, always reference it. You'll never get this kind of, a delivery of product than on this channel right here. And what we'll end up doing is referencing it all week. And even when waivers process tomorrow, I'm still referencing it, because you might be sitting there on a Thursday saying, Smitty, what do I do about this spot? And I say, the waiver's processed, but this still applies. Is this guy here? Which players should have been maybe picked up that are still available? And it's a pretty deep list. I mean, there's a lot of names on here. I imagine there's 1 or 2 in each category you can find in your league that are available, even if you play in a very deep league. Now, we've got super chats here. We're going to take some phone calls. Maury with a $50 hauler. Smitty crushing in my league because you're a legend. Probably consumed 20 plus hours or so. Here's yours, my man. I'll stay tuned. Maury dropping a $50 wad on screen. Maury, I appreciate you. You get the $50 hauler money cannon.
$50. Give me $50 holler. I get by the brother Smith. Give me 50.
Appreciate you, Maury, for dropping the 50 watt on screen. You're an absolute legend. And let's also send you to the moon. No.
To Mars.
To Mars. You deserve to go to Mars. This one's from James. James, appreciate you coming in with the $2 hauler. Trade Bijan and Waddle for AJB and Kyron. AJB's out multiple weeks now, bro. I don't think you can do this. The answer is no. If he was not out multiple weeks, I would be okay with this trade in general. But now you're talking about a whole different player. We're talking about a whole different value. He's out multiple weeks. It could be a while. It could be 5 weeks. They could put him on IR, which would guarantee you 4. Then a rough week week back after missing four games. By the way, guys, we're at 28,955 subscribers on the channel. That means that we have 1,700 live viewers right now, and probably 30% of you have not hit the subscribe button. If you guys would do me a favor, I promise you I'll earn it from you. You can do it in advance. Pay in advance. I promise you I will earn your subscribe because we go live more than anybody. So if you can hit that subscribe button, we can turn this into 29K live on the show easily. And I'll change this behind me. Let me move Kareem Hunt. He's in the way. I'll change this to 28 to 29K. Look at that. There's 7 of them just came through. We'll change it live on the show. I'll show you what I do. You probably wonder what it is. How am I changing it? I'll show you. It's pretty simple what I do, but I'll show you when we hit it. 29K, here we come. There's another 4 right there. We need 30. There's another 3. We need literally about probably 32 more. There we go. There's 2 more. We need 32, and we'll be at 29K. We'll be at 29K probably in 5 minutes at this rate. You guys are hitting that pretty good. Mahomes, AR5, Levis, running back Bijan, Pollard, Javonte Williams, Zach Charbonnet, Bucky, Irving, Rice. We need 29, 28. You guys are smashing that button there. I think we need about 24 subscribes and we're there. Feel the need to upgrade at running back or wide receiver. Do you think it's possible? With this team, certainly think it's possible. But would I trade MHJ? Probably not. You got Bijan, you got AR5. I trust in AR5. Let your season ride on AR5. 18 more subscribes and we're there. God, you guys are quick. We needed like 50 something. Now we need 17. 17 subscribes and we're there. Let's see here. Bucky. So I love MHJ, love Rice, love Reed, love Worthy, love this team. Pollard and maybe a Reed. I want to keep Rice. I want to keep MHJ. I want to keep Worthy. I think that's a crafty trio. I would trade Reed and Pollard for 1 upgrade RB, and I'm thinking Kyron. I'm thinking HN. I'm thinking JT. I love Gibbs. Gibbs may be more than anybody. I think Gibbs is going to be a monster. 14 more subscribes and we're there. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you. Let me refresh this number here because that's not accurate anymore. It's right here. You guys, you're hitting it so fast I can't even screenshot it because you guys are absolute monsters. We need like 13 more. Here's that number as it was spinning. Great question, though. Drafting, appreciate you with this super chat here. $20 hauler from Drafting. Drafting, I'm going to send you to Mars, pal. We need 10 more subscribes, and we're at 29K, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. And this is for you, pal, for the $20 hauler. 8 more subscribes. Mahomes, AR5, Levis. Okay, so I'm sorry. 2 QBs. So I already went over this one. You're first of all, your QBs are immaculate. Okay, you're gonna be just fine. AR5, trust in AR5. Put this entire season on the line for AR5. It would be worth the gamble, my guy. Totally worth the gamble. He's that good. And yeah, he's gonna be up and down. It is what it is. So thanks, pal, for that $20 hauler. $4.99 Dynasty Superflex got offered 25-second for Tua. Take it and run. I mean, Superflex is tough. He's probably coming back. He's probably going to play. 4 more subscribes and we're at 29K. He's probably going to play again. He says he's not going to retire, but this could take a turn if he has 2-3 bad meetings with a neurologist and his family talks him out of it. A second rounder is not much, though. In a way, I almost tell you, like, a second rounder is good, but it's not absolutely amazing. It would also depend on your QBs. 2 more subscribes. We're at 29K. 2 more subscribes. If your quarterbacks are solid, like you even got like a Rattler as a 3 and then 2 really good QBs, I might do this. But if Tua's your QB2, I'm not doing it, bro. We just crossed over the 29K mark. You guys are absolutely amazing. 29,002 subscribers. Keep it coming, though, because I promise you, I will earn your subscribe. I go live more than anybody I think you could possibly find on YouTube. We're at 29K. and 2. Let me show you what I do here, because it is as simple as this. Behind me, I have a homemade makeshift thing here. I take that off. I made these a long time ago, and I just find I find the 9. We're at 29K, so I just got to find the 9. I've got a 9 in here somewhere. I got 2 numbers for everything anyway. I tried to make enough to get to 100K as we went, and but the problem is I did lose 1 or 2 along the way, so I gotta search. I may only here we go. 9, boom, 9, 29K. That's exciting. We're gonna be at 30K by maybe a week and a half's time. We got 29,007 of you now. 29,008. You guys keep it coming. Let's cook.
Let him cook.
Unreal. You guys are absolutely unreal. We're at 29,010 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. Keep punching it. Wow, that was a quick climb from about 65 subscribes during the show. 1350 of you still in the building. Niners haven't beaten the Vikings since in the 1980s, says Joey. The Niners are in shambles, man. And to be beaten by Darnold is near embarrassing. Darnold coming back with a revenge game. Unbelievable. Just wild when you really think about it. Lost Deebo and AJB. Who should I use the waiver number 2 spot on? Rest of the team is Hurts, Kyron, Ford, Rice, Kincaid, Ridley, A.D. Mitchell. I mean, at least you have some RBs there. You have 2 wide receivers. I mean, it depends if you're sitting there going, let's go ahead and attack this RB room. Maybe you could trade an RB too. It's tempting to go get Steele, but we have no idea if Steele's the guy. If one of the Rams wide receivers are available, it makes sense as well. If Dotson's out there, you could look at that, but it's very, very tough to get a feel for what is going to help you with this squad, because you kind of have equal problems. You're kind of balanced with the issues. You've got a second running back, right, Ford, but who's your next RB up? At least you've got Kyron and Corum cuffed. You almost want to even get Ronnie Rivers, because damn it, if you lose Kyron and Ronnie Rivers comes in, you're screwed there. At least you got Chase Brown, you got Ford, and you got Corum cuffed. I'd probably say I would take a gamble on, if Allen were there, I'm not leaving Allen out there. I'd take a gamble on one of those Ram wide receivers potentially, but I also think Steele could give you some trade bait. So end of the day, I'm going to go Steele. I think Steele's the guy. I can't promise you that it won't be Kareem Hunt. Again, I would probably grab both of them if I can and just drop a kicker and hold both of them until you get a feel for who's the number 1 running back option. I think P. Ryan is obviously in the mix too. You could do P. Ryan and Steele. If you had $50 fab for each, you could do a half load drop. We got to have a half load drop button.
Full load drop.
We got to have a half full load drop button. But a half load drop could let you maybe get P. Ryan and maybe get Steele. Tough to say, but having both of them would feel pretty comfortable, I would say. Lamar, Saquon, Devontae Smith, Deebo, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, JSN, Jamo, Eckler. Hold this team or do some trades. I'd trade Swift. I don't know how much value he has, though. Swift and Pickens for an injured St. Brown, who I believe in and still could rebound. Garrett Wilson and Swift, and I mean, crap, I don't know if you could put fab dollars in or figure out a way to get that into a doubted Jamar Chase, to get that into a Marvin Harrison, because some people sell off of a high week because they're afraid that the player is going to fail them. So you just never know. You could take stabs at that. Garrett Wilson, I'm not necessarily wanting to totally get rid of him. I do like him a lot, but we're worried about how that offense is going to feed him. Why is he doing so badly through 2 weeks? You could say, well, pump the brakes, Smitty. You're pumping the brakes on other guys. That's true. And that's why I'm not freaking out. But I do have some of my concerns don't feel like they're getting answered. Like, at least with Tank Dell, you could say, and I don't care who doesn't believe in Tank Dell. You don't have to watch if you don't want to. Put earmuffs on during the segment. But Tank Dell had a touchdown pass in week 1 where he's overthrown. Would have changed the whole landscape for Tank Dell. Week 2, he should have had another touchdown. It was not a good pass by Stroud. In both cases, Stroud screwed up, not feeding the touchdown to Tank Dell, and he'd have 2 touchdowns walking into week 3. it'd be a very different story. So when I look at Garrett Wilson, I don't see some of those opportunities, and it makes me a little nervous. But at the same time, would I trade like Pickens and Swift for a potential Rashee Rice? Yeah. Would I trade Swift? And the problem is, who's your RB if you trade Swift? You might have to go after, what about Swift and Pickens for Jacobs? What about Swift and JMO for Jacobs? What about Swift and JMO for Kyron? Try. Because Kyron's getting mad dogged in a lot of circles right now. People saying he's not that good anymore. They don't like him. I don't even understand. He's got a touchdown in each of the first 2 games, and his whole offense is injured. They're going to run everything through Kyron, which is another reason why I think in a world where your bench is just very big, or you have some trash player on your team, you might want to consider being that wild man that has all 3 of the Ram running backs cuffed, because you never know what's going to happen, and you want to make sure you stave off injury. That's the best early advice I can give you, Crazy, but we'll have plenty of time to go over this and try and fix your situation. PPR, Jacobs, and one of Keon, BT, Tank Dell for Nico. Nico's probably a hold right now, bro. I love Jacobs, but Nico's easily as good or better, and I just don't know that I'd rather buy low on Tank Dell using something else. So I'm going to say keep Nico at the current moment, even though I love Jacobs. He's still very vulnerable right now to crowded boxes, and I just think Nico's playing out of his mind. Smitty with Puka and Kupp injured. I have both Whittington and Johnson on my bench. They are worth the space. And how do you feel about Rams rest of season? I think it's going to be a lot of running. I think the receivers will do pretty well. I don't know if this team wins, but I think McVay's crafty enough to get the ball moving and to make some opportunities. But I do think it's going to be a rough season, and I'm hoping they don't break Kyron because of all the injuries. But at least the quarterback's not hurt. At least Kyron's not hurt. At least they do have 3 very good wide receivers when you really break it down, given the situation. So, and as far as which one, I kind of think Johnson's the more secure one at this moment. But, man, I think Whittington could be a surprise now that he's going to be on the field a lot more, and we'll see that talent shine through. Drake and Andrews for JT and Garrett Wilson. Is it fair? Not really. I mean, but do I veto it? I'd never veto anything. JT and Garrett Wilson for me by a mile in that trade. Trade Hopkins and Charbonnet for Waddle. I would take Waddle and run. And that's even with this kind of cloudy situation. Mike H with a blank $4.99. Appreciate you, Mikey, coming in strong. Lost AJB, Deebo, Mostert, Ingram, Tank Dell, and is now my wide receiver 1. Any moves? I mean, I don't know what your team is, Jason, other than that. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed? You trade your injured players? I guess you could potentially try and trade like AJB for Rice and a little tiny upgrade at RB. You could trade Deebo for maybe a player like Rice and figure out, look, Rice, I'd rather have Rice than Deebo or AJB if they're going to be out multiple weeks. If Deebo's out, it goes on IR. I'd rather have Rice. And you got to do what you got to do. And at the end of the day, if Deebo comes back, he still might tread water for a little while. So it doesn't mean he comes back like spitting fire. I got CMC as the 1.1. Should I sell or hold? You can't sell CMC for anything. Slick, I imagine you don't have Mason by the sound of it. No one's going to buy CMC. You're going to sell him so low, you're just going to take a bath on it, and it's not going to help you. So you either go get Mason through some rather aggressive offer. Let's say you send DJ Moore for Jordan Mason, and you pull off that amazing move because that would be a steal. Make sure you get Garendo. You kind of got to hold CMC. There's no world that I can imagine where CMC is going to get you anything of note. Maybe you get lucky and someone trades you a Kyron or a Jacobs or maybe a player like Rashee Rice, but who's going to do that when he's out 6 weeks or so? It's really hard to imagine. I want maybe a little bit more if I'm doing that, but I'd rather just hold them versus get maybe some value that I don't love. So I'd probably give you that advice, but you have to go get Mason. You should have got him when I'm trying to put salt in a open wound, but you got to get Garendo too. Bijan, ETM, Monty, DK, Pickens, Higgins, and Hurts, Rams, tight end. Any moves? I'd probably say you got to hold these RBs. They haven't earned their value yet. DK's great. Pickens, can't trade him. Higgins, can't trade him. Hurts, don't want to trade him. And I think, maybe DK is a potential trade piece. Would I go after a Hurt St. Brown for DK coming off a big game? Sure. If you want to take a little bit of a gamble. DK's still nice though. DK for Rice and maybe an upgrade from from Monty to Kyron or from ETN to Kyron. Those are things that I would entertain with your situation, my guy. Appreciate you dropping the wad on screen. Smitty got London and MHJ, and a giant thanks. Appreciate you, Okami. Appreciate you very, very much. Nice job this week, smashing it. This one here, if Hunt signs, is he a good pickup? He is a good pickup, but we just don't know. Again, as I said during the waiver wire segment, go watch the beginning of the show after the show's over to just get a little bit more insight on what I said. But there's just not a lot of clarity right now. And you almost got to drop your kicker. Drop your kicker and pick up Kareem Hunt with whatever Steele or Pirine that you land. And I put a claim in for all three, to be honest with you. Hill and Mixon for Kyron and Devontae Smith. I would take Kyron and Devontae Smith over Hill and Mixon right now with Mixon being banged up. That's a pretty good combo. I'm down for that. That's nice. That's a real nice situation. All right. Eric, I got your super chat right here. I'll be handling yours in 1 second. Eric, hang tight. Rock out with a $20 hauler. Rock out coming in strong tonight. Rock out's the man. He gets immediate assistance. Racing Boy, I want to put you right here. This one from Mokes. Appreciate you right there. Mokesy or whatever your name is. Appreciate you. This one right here from Bruce. Bruce, I'll put you right there. I got your super chat right here. Matt, I'm going to put you here just so you guys know that I'm coming to you. I know a lot of people think I skipped your super chat. I did not. They're just piling up, so I'm trying to get to them as fast as I can. Matt, Chris, I'm coming for you. Hang tight, Chris. I'm going to answer these in order in which I've got them and received them, and I'm going to pile them on top of each other like this so you know who's next and how far away you are in case you need to go grab a soda and a popcorn and then head on back over. Tate, appreciate you dropping the super chat, my guy. TP, appreciate you, TP, coming in strong. Danny, appreciate you, Danny, dropping a super wad on screen. Slate, you came in last, so I'm going to put you there, then move you to the back, but don't worry, I'm coming for you, pal. Hang tight for me. Slate, thank you. Danny with Danny with two super chats here. Or no, is that the same one? That's the same one. Danny, appreciate you. I must have closed somebody's. Slate, Racing Boy. Is that another one from Racing Boy? Let me put that one right there. It might be another one from Racing Boy that I closed. Mokes. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So thank you, Danny, for dropping this super chat. I can close that out. This one's from Trevor. Trevor, thank you very much. And Eric with a $10 hauler. Eric, appreciate you. Let me put those right there. Let me go to the $20 hauler, which is Rock Out. Rock Out says, congrats on 29K. Yeah, we're not even at 29K now. We're at 29K and 27. We're on our way to 29.1K and by the end of this stream probably. And man, I can't wait to get to 30K. 30K is going to be a nice number to get to. Appreciate you guys dropping these supers and just being here, spreading the word the best you can. Rock Out, thank you, pal. Lost Walker, Puka, Higgins, Deebo, Pacheco. God, you got annihilated in this league. Tua out of my league. 3 players out of 1 league. Wow. I know I'm not the only one that got injured players, but dang. Bro, Rock Out, you got smashed probably more than anybody I've seen. Walker, Puka, Higgins, Deebo, Pacheco, Tua. That's you don't even have IR spots for that. Like, your commissioner's got to be like, bro, I don't know what to do with you because you only have 2 IR spots. You deserve to have unlimited. Thoughts on Devontae Adams? Guy wants my Purdy, and Walker says he would take another player with Adams. Thoughts on Adams? The guy wants my Purdy and Walker. Yeah, another player with Adams. Yeah, it depends on the player, but would I take this? I don't hate Adams at this cost of entry, bro. I think it's fine. I think Walker and Adams have very similar value. Do I worry about Adams? Yeah, but could he get traded? Sure. So it's not a bad deal. Kyler, Jacobs, Mason, St. Brown, Neighbors, McBride, Ridley, good team. Bench, Cooper Kupp, man, Thomas Jr., really good squad. Thomas Jr. and Brooks, for something. Cooper Kupp and Brooks for something. Like a St. Brown injured. Oh, you got St. Brown. You can't get MHJ anymore. Otherwise, I'd go that direction. Maybe upgrade Jacobs into Gibbs by giving up giving up Ridley or Thomas Jr. I'd give up Ridley to maybe move. Try Thomas Jr. Thomas Jr. and Jacobs to go get Kyron. Thomas Jr. and Jacobs to go get Gibbs. Start there. would I maybe throw Ridley in instead? Maybe I want something back, but I think I'd go that direction. But Gibbs is going to be one of the best buy lows this week. I traded Godwin and Mason for JT and Garrett Wilson. Feel like I'm selling both high. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I mean, Godwin played out of his mind, and Godwin's playing better than Garrett Wilson. And dare I say that many of the people in the chat, and you can ask them right now, chat, respond. I think the majority of the chat would rather have Godwin right now over Garrett Wilson. I'm not saying that won't change, but Godwin's playing really well, and I don't know what's going on with Garrett Wilson. I hope Garrett Wilson gets back in his bag. I hope it's not just a play calling issue that ends up kind of taking him out of quarters and halves of games every single week. Tough to really know, but that's a tough trade in that sense, bro. Godwin and Mason for JT and Garrett Wilson. I still take Garrett Wilson and I still take Garrett Wilson and JT though. So I think it's a good move. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give Godwin some context and give a little bit of a fight on that side of the fence. But at the end of the day, bro, why not put the cojones on the table and say, give me Garrett Wilson. We're 2 weeks in. He did look great in the first quarter. They spoon-fed him. We know he can be spoon-fed. And you know what? JT's worth that move alone. Yeah, not straight up, but I mean like that, making that gamble on Garrett Wilson. So Kyler, Connor, Mason, MHJ, Kupp, Freiermuth, Godwin, Neighbors, trade targets or moves. I'd probably say I'm taking Pollard or Walker, but Pollard will be easier to trade. And I add a player like, I mean, damn, bro, you could go after Jamar Chase using Godwin and Pollard right now. You could use Walker and Godwin to go after Jamar Chase. Maybe you don't want to go after Jamar Chase. That's okay if you don't, but I would. That's what I'm doing. Cooper Kupp and Pollard for a Amon-Ra St. Brown who's banged up. People do weird things when you give them a player and you swap injured players. Then they're like, I can get out of this injury, get a player in the meantime. And St. Brown, I'm not worried about all that much. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Monty, JD5, Mason, Rice, Kittle, Kyron, Sharbs, Corum, Garendo, Shaheed, Stan Put. Yeah, probably. I like this team enough that there's nothing I want to really trade away that's got trade value. I think JD5, Monty, Mason, unless you're trading Monty and maybe like Shaheed for a slight upgrade into Jacobs, a slight upgrade or a big upgrade into Kyler, but a perceived slight upgrade into Kyron. Kyron's not valued where we have him or where I value him. Some people in this live chat probably want to speak out on that. You can. I'm not going to get mad at you. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't like Kyron like Smitty does. I love Kyron. And Kyron might get overfed. Maybe he breaks. That's why I back him up. Smitty, 10-point PPR. There's also concern of like the offense. You know, the offense has been so ravaged that maybe Kyron doesn't have the season we want him to have. And it's kind of not going to be his fault. You know, he's out there trying to do his thing, but he lost 2 elite wide receivers. 2 top 10 wide receivers went down. So the offense becomes a little bit one-dimensional. But I do believe in McVay, and the talented wide receivers with Stafford should do pretty well, considering. Barkley, Gibbs, Malik, Worthy, Neighbors, Worthy, Kittle, Dell. Love the team. Not doing much at all. Don't want to trade anything in your lineup. I love every single bit of it. I even like Tank Dell. I don't care what people say. This is a good team. I'm going to say stand down unless you can trade like Pickens and Ridley for, you know, a St. Brown type player. You know, Pickens and Ridley for MHJ would have been perfect, but that's off the table, you know, now. Ridley or Pickens to upgrade AR5 into Mahomes. That's probably what I'd do, Tate. That's the move I make. That's the ticket, Tate. That's what I'm doing. We got Thomas with a $20 hauler. Thomas is a Mars man extraordinaire. Thomas, appreciate you.
Too much.
Thomas says, lost Kupp and AJB this weekend. Would have had to start Kittle, Andrews, and Keon next week. I'm 1-on-1. Should I just hold or sell Jacobs for a combination of Aaron Jones and Jalen Waddle? I mean, look, I think Jacobs for Aaron Jones and Waddle or Olave is pretty good. I'd rather have Waddle. So, but I'd rather have a different player than Aaron Jones if possible. But if you could go to like, let's call it the Connor owner, let's pull up some of the fantasyfootballshow.com rankings. The fantasyfootballshow.com rankings. That's where my site is if you want any of my rankings and bold predictions and all that stuff. Draft rankings, trade calculators, you name it. If I'm looking at the wide receivers in that territory that might, you might be able to get, let's see here. You said Jacobs, right? Jacobs for a combination of Aaron Jones and Jalen Waddle. So running backs, I like Monty. You know, Mostert's no, I don't know. Mostert's kind of interesting, but not to trade for Jacobs, but like, let's say you were to get Jacobs and you get the injured St. Brown and you get Mostert involved, like something like that, where you're swinging like kind of almost higher than Jacobs, but because Amon-Ra's hurt, you know, something of that effect. But yeah, and I'm not opposed to selling Jacobs. I think you almost kind of have to, bro. Superfish, congrats on the 29K. Thank you, Superfish. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your support. Brees for Mason and Rice. I'd rather have... it depends. If you need wide receivers bad. If you honestly can't win with Brees Hall, Mason and Rice is pretty strong, but I'm going to say you need more. I think Mason's got a little bit of that shelf life we're not sure about. You know what I mean? Like, what's the expiration date on it? Did it live, Smitty? Guy didn't have another player. He did Purdy for Adams straight up. Wow. Purdy for Adams straight up is fantastic, bro. And Tamar's on that one. And Tamar's in general. Lost Kupp and Pacheco. I'm sorry, Steven. That sucks, bro. That really does suck. Gifted, appreciate you. What side, Anthony Richardson and Neighbors, or Mahomes and Henry? I'm going to go A-Rich and Neighbors. A-Rich and Neighbors, my guy. I like that a lot. That's pretty nice. I lost Kupp and Pacheco. I'm sorry, bro. Did I knock somebody's super chat off? Gifted. I lost. Mateo. I think I'm caught up. You should get with number 2 waiver wire spot. Who should I get with the number 2 waiver wire spot? I mean, I don't know who's available, bro. So I can't really answer that question in a vague sense. But I'd say, you know, these top 3 RBs, and even Hunt, Benson. I love these guys if they're there. The Rams wide receiver Shaheed. I don't really know who's available. Yoshi Voss, if not. Those are all good players, all good plays, all worth going and getting. You know, those guys. LOL with a super chat. Pick up Cowing or Jennings. I'm going to go Cowing. I think Cowing's better. Michael, appreciate you. Start 2 running backs. James Cook, Dobbins, or Connor. I'm going to go James Cook and Dobbins right now. Yeah, for now. But that's tough. I think you got to make a trade, bro. You got to make a trade. Otherwise, you're gonna end up getting screwed each week on that. Who do you... Devontae Dobbins for Chase Jamo. Give me Chase and Jamo. I don't want to say like cakewalk easy, but I'd do that pretty quickly. Jones for Pickens. I'd rather have Pickens. Moss for Mooney plus Chase Brown. I'd rather have Moss right now. He's a starting running back. You know what I mean? Drop Keon Coleman, Terry McLaurin for Shaheed. I would drop Keon Coleman over McLaurin. I'm not dropping McLaurin yet. He's still got a lot to prove, bro. Send Kyron and Waddle for Bijan and Puka. Kyron and Waddle for... No, I'm going to keep Kyron and Waddle. Like, Puka's not coming back for a while, bro. You know, it's just not worth that gamble. Kyron for Walker and Olave. I would take... or Walker and Waddle. I'd take Walker and Waddle for Kyron, I think. I think Walker will be back, you know, in good time, but, you know, he's a risk for sure. This one right here, I'm sorry. AR5, Bijan, White, Mason, MHJ, BT, Kittle, Bench, Ingram, Pickens, Yoshi Voss, Algier, Spears, Garendo. Who do I go after? Shaheed and Hunter are available. I would probably say, given you've got Kittle, bro, I don't even know that you necessarily... yeah, you kind of do need a wide receiver. I'd go Shaheed if I'm you. But I definitely look at those other RBs like Allen, Braylon Allen, Steele. I'd rather have those guys than the waiver wire players you suggested. And Clocks with a $10 hauler, 12-team standard. Murray, running back JT, Kyron, DK, likely flexes Jacobs, Tucker. You've got Dell. Cut who and who do you like? Who do I cut? I guess the worst player on this team is probably Lazard. I just don't think he'll be consistent, so I definitely cut Lazard. And any trades that I would make would probably revolve around trying to sell Deebo high, like going after a Rice or a Worthy using Deebo. And I'm not saying that if you go after Worthy, you just leave it at that, okay? I'm not saying that, but maybe you get more Worthy in something. Maybe you get Worthy in some sort of flex upgrade or something like that. But Rice I would do straight up. Rice is a fantastic go-get player. Rice is a monster. I don't even know where to go with this. Shaheed, Kyron. Don't trade JT. Don't trade Kyron. Don't trade Murray. And try not to trade Jacobs if you can. But I love Dell. I still love Dell. It's a good squad. I think you stand down unless you're upgrading Jacobs, unless you're upgrading DK. You know, DK to Jamar Chase using... I don't know what you could do here. DK and Jacobs for... That's too much. Shaheed and Jacobs for MHJ, for St. Brown, for JT, for Barkley. You know, Barkley might be a little bit cheaper today than he was yesterday, and that's all I can really say. Start 2 full PPR. JMO, JSN, Dell, Cooper. I'm gonna go Waddle and JMO are probably your safest bets here, bro. Chris, appreciate you. 16-team league, just lost Kupp. JD5, Achane, Gibbs, Dell, Worthy, Coleman, Kincaid, benches, Wicks, Braylon Allen, Wright. I like your team a lot. Moves, I'm not trading your RBs. I'm not trading your quarterback. I'm not trading Dell. I'm not trading Worthy. The answer is no. I'm not trading Kincaid. You make any trades and you're selling low, you're a total hold. And I'm sorry I can't give you a better... That is a good take. It's the best take to give you. Otherwise, I'm doing you a disservice if I'm trying to cook up and concoct a trade where you're selling low on some of those guys and you can't do it. Thoughts on JSN for the rest of the season? Wright wants to know. I like him, but he's a wide receiver 3-4. Not even a locked-in 3 for me, but a 3-4 for sure. Achane or Rice for Kamara and Chase? Achane and Rice for Kamara and Chase. Bro, that is about as close as it gets. I'd probably say... Man, chat, what do we like better? Kamara and Jamar Chase or Achane and Rice? I don't know. Bench is likely. Also, do I panic? No, I don't panic. Your team's very good, man. You got Bijan, MHJ, Laporta, Lamar. This is a solid squad. But are we doing that trade? Kamara, Chase, or Achane, Rice? Achane, Rice, Achane, Rice. Rice and Achane. Rice and Achane. It's a really close one. I kind of agree. I love Achane so much that I feel like I'm doing that move, but it's very arguable. Very, very, very arguable. Very close. Guys, hit that thumb up button. 368 thumbs up, but we still have a handful, 1,400 people in here live. So if you could all slap that like button, I'd appreciate it. 12-man standard, QB, Baker, Purdy, St. Brown, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Pollard, Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker, Stevenson. Okay, it's a good team. Feel like you should be a little bit better in a 12-man league, but that doesn't mean you can't trade into it. You may have been hit with an injury too, but I'd say, Smith and Jigba. I would say Kenneth Walker and DJ Moore, Amari Cooper and Kenneth Walker, QBs Baker and Purdy, St. Brown, Cooper, and DJ Moore. You got to be able to. I don't even know if you could do anything, bro. But Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's your start. You have to go after an RB though. Like Kenneth Walker and DJ Moore for Kyron, Achane, Barkley, or JT. That would be my advice for you. Are we confident starting Shaheed moving forward? Also, what are your thoughts on Lad McConkey? Lad's more of a 4-5 for me. Maybe a 5-6 even sometimes. So I'm not really starting him on the regular. But as for this other question here, are we starting Shaheed moving forward? Pretty much guaranteed as a wide receiver 3 at least right now. Thoughts on Devontae Adams? Guy wants my Purdy and Walker. Says he would trade another. I already got that one. Thank you. Appreciate you. Slate with a $20 or $5 hauler. 12-team. Burrow, Kyron, Jacobs, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Olave, London, Neighbors, Reed, Kincaid, Fields, Quorum. Reed, Wilson for London. Jaden Reed. Okay, I'm not sure where this trade begins because it's all commas. I think you're saying Wilson for London, straight up. I'd rather have Wilson. I think I still love both of them. I don't know how they're both going to do. I can't predict the future, but I do still love both of them. But I would probably take. I don't know. I'd try to take Garrett Wilson. Hurts, Kyron, Pacheco, Warren, Hill, Olave, Addison. Hurts, Kyron, Pacheco. It sucks you lost Pacheco. Warren, Hill, he lost Tua. Man, you got hit hard. Try Pacheco for, Connor, Benson. I mean, somebody might want to wait. It's tough to say. And Hill, am I trading Hill? Maybe you're solving your problem. Maybe you're waiting on Pacheco, or you're trying to trade him later for like a Tank Dell. Like Tank Dell, Pacheco for Tank Dell. He starts all year. I do that, like in a sense. And then I look at this other piece of it and say, how about I trade Hill and I go get Jacobs and how about Hill for St. Brown, or Hill for Rashee Rice and some Jacobs type player. I think it's potentially doable. I think Rice could get you that Olave upgrade or something like that. I don't know. Olave could be upgraded. Hill can be traded. You just need to do the right 2-for-1 when you go ahead and get him. Do you think AJB will be out until the bye week? He certainly can. Ziggy, when is the Eagles bye week?
The Eagles have a bye week in week 5. Their next game is against the Saints on Sunday, September 22nd at 10 a.m.
Absolutely, he'll be back week 6. I think if he's gonna even be back by then. If he goes on IR, bro, that's week 3, week 4, week 6. Yeah, I mean you're talking about multiple weeks past that. Do you think AJB will be out? Oh, sorry, that question there. Hold on. This one here: Hurts, Kyron, Pacheco, Warren, Hill, Olave, Addison. I already did that one. That's such a tough one, bro. I'm sorry about your teams and your injuries, but hopefully we can take care of it throughout the week too, and stay on top of all the waiver guys. Upgrade my kicker. I got Kareem Hunt. Standard league. Upgrade my kicker. I'm sure. I don't know who your kicker is, but I appreciate your super chat. And I drop my kicker to pick up extra players all the time. Calvin Ridley and Javonte Williams for Deebo. I've Ridley, Waddle, and Neighbors. I don't know, bro. Calvin Ridley and Javonte for Deebo. I have Ridley, Waddle, and Neighbors still. I mean, really, Deebo could be out a while, bro. He could be out a while. I don't know. We don't know what it is. Chad, are you taking Ridley or Deebo? Deebo or Ridley? Can we get a vote for Hobbs on this one? It's a close one. It's preference, man. You just don't know. If Deebo's out a small amount of time and not out, the 4 games or gets put on IR, and he comes back after 2 missed games, then I like it. Joe says you're missing some super chats. I'm not, Joe. They're just in a big line, my guy. Chris, appreciate you. Any concerns about target share when it comes to Dell, Worthy, and Coleman with my starters? Yeah, I do. I do think there's some concerns, but at the same time, teams start locking down guys like Collins after they blow up, and then all of a sudden there's rotations. So, I don't know that I'm not worried about Tank Dell like everybody else is. DMO with a $10 hauler. DMO, appreciate you. Full PPR, need a running back. Allen, White, Pollard, JJ, MHJ, Waddle, Ingram, JMO, Lab, McConkey, Chase Brown, Mostert. Got offered Monty and London for MHJ? No. Should I counter with Rashad White, Pollard, MHJ for Achane, London? So you trade MHJ for Achane and London and Monty? Rashad White, Pollard for MHJ. I'd take Achane, London, and Monty. I probably would. That's a lot of talent over Pollard, Rashad White, and MHJ. I love MHJ, but assuming this is redraft, I wouldn't trade MHJ in Dynasty at all. $10 hauler, 12 team. League, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Kyler, Achane, Javonte, Ford, Benson, Brooks, Gus Edwards, CD. Any players I should be trying to trade for, or is this team strong enough to win? It's you know, it's strong, but like you need an RB2 unless Benson gets in there or Ford continues to ball or he starts balling out. CD, Nico, and Rice and Kupp is awesome, but it sucks that you got hit with the Kupp injury. I don't know. I think I probably hold for a week. I mean, you're gonna have Brooks coming in, so Achane should be good. I don't see that you have Achane cuffed to anybody though, bro. Like that's gonna screw you if what happens with CMC happens. You know what I mean? Like you got to hit that waiver wire. It's good, but you got to secure up that crew. You got to secure up your running back 1. It's a must cuff. My guy getting Higgins wide out, a Deebo bench. Wait, a Deebo bench. Feeling most hurt. Oh, you're just trying to be a play on words. I see what you're saying. Most hurt and need to take a walker and a drink. A cup of Joe from Puka. No Tua means no love on a stairway to Evan Pacheco. Come on, bro. This is too much. SKS, appreciate you dropping the whatever the hell that was. Thank you for 217. Asked you this multiple times, but should I move Mason in London for Hill? London on my bench. You know, if London's on your bench, why not take a gamble on Hill, bro? I guess it's not a lock, but bro, why not? Why not? Do it live. Do it live. More. This one real quickly. More Monty or Chase Najee. Give me Chase Najee by a mile, bro. Come on, by a mile. All right, we got Crazy with a super chat here. I'm going to put them in order in which they're received. So I'm going to stack these on top. David, appreciate your super chat. This one, send Kamara and Olave for Achane and Jamar Chase. Kamara, Olave. I take Achane and Chase. So I'm going to get that one out of the way because it was so easy. Lost Kupp, Deebo, down Worthy, Dell, Terry. I'm sorry, Hassan. Hassan's not asking a question, just making a sad statement. I'm sorry, bro. This one from Tone. Appreciate you, Tone. This one from Snoopy. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. Joe, appreciate you. Snoopy, appreciate you. Where's Joe's message? I just closed Joe's message. Damn it. Damn it, Joe. Where are you? Joe, there's Joe. Thank you, Joe. Alex, appreciate you. Nick, appreciate you. Kai, appreciate you. Cooper, appreciate you. I'm going to come for you in a second here. Zumbi, appreciate you. 19, got you down right here. Mills coming in strong with the super chat. Appreciate you there. Mills, and then poor boy coming for you. Hang tight. Matta. 1 second. I'll be there in a second, bro. And then Murph. Thank you, Murph. Appreciate you. Murph's going to get the immediate attention because Murph's question is the most recent. Or the most, is the one that's been there the longest. QB, Mahomes, Tua, Kyron, Achane, Wright, Corum, Davis, Dowdle, Kupp, Worthy, J-Mo, Keenan Allen, Kincaid, Scooped Up Hunt. Who is the best ad? Allen, Braylon Allen, Steele, or Ned? I'm going to go Allen, my guy. I'm going to go Allen. I love Steele. Put in claims for both of them. Drop a kicker if need be. And, you know, I definitely pick up Steele or Allen. I pick up both of them, but Allen has the slight edge. Just the slight edge. Matt, I appreciate you. Trade advice. I give McBride and Benson. I get Worthy and Kincaid. I take Worthy and Kincaid and Mostert. It's just a lot of talent. I think it's worth it. Been with you since the FFX days. Wow, Matt, you are probably. I would have to say Matta now qualifies as my biggest OG, even over Alex and over Silver Rapture, because he's talking about my very first. You're talking about like 2004, like 20 years ago. That's my guy, FFX, man. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody. I don't think anybody in here knows what FFX is except for Matta. Matta, don't say it. Let's see if anybody knows it. QB Stroud, running back Taylor, Walker, Warren, Flowers, Pickens, DJ Moore, McBride, Shaheed, Addison. God, you got hit. Yeah, this is a tough team. I don't think this team can win it, bro. I don't think it can win. You're going to have to trade JT, turn him into 2 players. You're going to have to go find JT for like Jacobs and a Rashee Rice or something like that. You're going to have to do that. We could figure it out together. That's my first instinct there. Trade Dell for Laporta. Kelsey, I would probably take Laporta in a heartbeat, and I'd take Kelsey over Dell as well. Adam Thielen worth a waiver wire pickup now that Bryce Young is benched. No, I don't want anything to do with that offense, bro. I mean, you never know. You need someone badly, bro. Super expert. No, that's not it. Yeah, no one's gonna get. I don't think anybody's gonna get FFX. I don't think. I'm 0-2. Team is AR5 Fields and HN Bijan, Braylon Allen, Wright, Keon, Dell, London, JSN, Mitchell, McBride. Any moves? I like this team a lot. I think Dell, London, and McLaurin are probably frustrating, but I think Dell and London will come around for you. So, like, do I want to trade? Do I want to maybe trade? I mean, what can you trade, though? There's not a lot to move. I think for you, it's, JSN and McLaurin or JSN and London or something like that to get a slight upgrade. But I think what you're waiting on is McBride to pop off, and then you probably need to trade McBride. I don't think you have much of a move. I'd hate to just give you advice on making a move when you can't. You got to let some of those players gain value. 12-team full PPR ESPN League. Hurts, Brees, DeMonte, Deebo, London, Kirk, Worthy, Andrews, Chase Brown, Dowdle, Bigsby, Palmer. What to do with Kirk? No one's gonna trade for Kirk, Christian Kirk. Really, I don't think. You could try if you do a 2-for-1 maybe. So Monty and Kirk for Jacobs, Deebo and Kirk for St. Brown. MHJ, Neighbors. You just go down the second round and try and get guys like that. DK even. I take DK over Deebo in a millisecond. And if you throw Kirk in to get it done, that's probably what I'd go attack is go attack Deebo. Even Devontae Smith right now coming off a solo start, essentially didn't have as big a game as he should have, and people might be panicking on that. Baker, Achane, Mixon, Chase, Wilson, Monty, Reed, Shaheed, Kincaid. Should I look to make a trade or keep the team as is? 10-man PPR, no kicker, or D is 49ers. I would probably try and trade, I would say Mixon or Monty with Shaheed or Reed to get that, just go as high as you can, to get the Kyron, to get the St. Brown, to get, maybe you're trading Wilson and potentially Wilson and Monty for Wilson and Monty for Gibbs, Wilson and Monty for Jamar Chase. You got Chase already. Wilson and Monty for Lamb, JJ, Reed and Monty for maybe St. Brown, but definitely go higher than that if you could. Those are the moves to make here, bro. HN, I'm not trading. Mixon, I think I want to trade Mixon over Monty. I don't know if anybody will buy him hurt, but Mixon and Reed for St. Brown would be amazing because St. Brown's banged up. You might get it done. Or Jacobs. I'd do that for Jacobs too. Kai, appreciate you. 10-team PPR, Mahomes, Kyron, HN, Amon-Ra, Cooper, Kupp. Damn it. Pitts, Dell, love the team. Making any trades? No. I love your squad. I'm not trying to move off of any of those players, and I think if you did, you might lose some value. I have Josh Allen, JT, Ramondre, Lamb, Nico, MHJ, Rice, Ayuk, Brian Robinson. Can trade Ramondre, B-Rob, and Rice for Brees. Should I do it? Ramondre, B-Rob, and Rice. God, I hate trading Rice. Can you trade... Almost rather have you trade... Guys, would you rather have Rice or Ayuk right now? Brees Hall, is Brees Hall worth that? It probably is. I'd probably take Brees Hall. But guys, would you rather swap out Rice? Would you rather trade away Rice or trade away... Put the question back up. Rice or Ayuk? You guys would rather trade away Rice? I don't know. I'm torn on that one, to be honest. I just don't know what I think of Ayuk. Plus, he could get hurt. Josh Allen, Bijan, Henry, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Kincaid, McLaurin, Trey Benson, Javonte. What should I do? Trade Henry, Evans, Amari Cooper and Henry for Gibbs, for JT. Amari Cooper and Henry for Kyron Achan. Mike Evans and Amari Cooper for Jamar Chase. Amari Cooper and... I don't know. I think that's the end of the road. Alex, try those things. Those are all moves I definitely make. What are you doing with Laporta the rest of the season? I'm just going to hold him and play him unless I can sell him high. Otherwise, we can do sell him low. I think this guy gets more involved. I think he does get more involved, but nobody should have been drafting him in the 3rd round. But if you did, you made your bed. You can't really trade out of that. Unless you're getting like a Kincaid and something, I would trade Laporta. You still got more trade value for Laporta than you have Kincaid. So Laporta for Kincaid and Dell. Laporta for Kincaid and Worthy. Like, go see what the Worthy and Dell owner have at tight end and see if that's possible. Allen, Hall, Achan, Ford, Wright, Kupp, DK, Coleman, McBride. I can get Shaheed to start this week. Any moves? I'd probably say I'm not trading Hall, Allen, Achan, DK. I'm not trading those guys. Would I trade Kupp right now for Rice? I would. I would do it because Kupp is going to be out multiple weeks and Rice is going to be amazing anyway. I do that trade. Would it take Worthy and something? I don't know. Probably if it was something strong, but I would consider that as like a piece of the trade. But an attractive one that make me go get it. Cousins, JT, Kyron, Ayuk, Rice, Conklin, Achan, Keenan Allen. Should I trade, upgrade QB or tight end? Yes, I would upgrade QB if you can. JT and Kyron and Rice are fantastic. Achan, fantastic. I give up Keenan Allen for free just for a small upgrade. Kyler's now off the table. Dak is probably the cheapest QB, bro. Go get Dak Prescott try not to use Monty. Try not to use Worthy. Try to use Keenan Allen. I'd even use Ayuk and Cousins to go get AR5, who had a horrible game. So those are all good buy low QBs, bro. $10 hauler, lost Kupp and Deebo. That's brutal. Hurts, Najee, Brian Robinson, CD, Collins, Kincaid. Still a good team. Bench, Dowdle, need to fill flex trades. Got offered McBride and Chase for CD. That's it. Go do that. Go get Chase and McBride for CD. You've got to. You've been ravaged with injuries. That's a fantastic trade that gives you a very good tight end, bro. Trade Garrett Wilson and Swift for Kelsey. That's a great trade, by the way. I just have to say again. Trade, not this one, the other one I just read. Trade Garrett Wilson and Swift for Kelsey. That's pretty even. And Kelsey looks pretty cheeks right now. So I don't know how good that is. It's even. Would I rather have Garrett Wilson? I think I would. You got Ingram anyway, bro. I mean, I don't know how long is Ingram going to even be out? You know, let's see if you can weather through that. It's tough to say. Let's see, Evan Ingram. Week to week hamstring issue. There's no IR threat yet. It could definitely happen. He was a scratch with the hamstring in week 2, but Peterson's optimistic. Bro, I'm not panicking in your situation. The answer is a hell no. Don't trade Garrett Wilson when you've got Ingram. Ingram's not done for the year or anything. So I would back down from that. Back down. Stand down. PPR got offered Olave for my Godwin. Right now, Godwin's better. Like, I took a lap on it yesterday. Godwin's better. Do I think it'll stay, when he'll stay healthy? I don't know, but Godwin's better. Need a QB. This is my option. Cousins, Carr, or Darnold. I'd probably say Cousins right now. He feels like he's in his bag. Ziggy, who do the Falcons play in week 3?
The Chiefs and the Falcons will face off in the Sunday night football game on Sunday, September 22nd at 5:20 p.m. The game will be shown on NBC.
I'm probably gonna go Cousins. Chat, can I get a vote on this? Do we want Cousins or do we want Darnold? Ziggy, who do the Vikings play in week 3? I don't have my schedule in
The
front.
Texans and the Vikings will face off on Sunday, September 22nd at 10 a.m.
I like the
The
Texans
game will
D.
be shown
Ziggy
on
off.
CBS.
Ziggy, I like the Texans D. I don't know. I'm gonna go Cousins. I think Cousins gets some momentum from this. Final Fantasy. No, none of it's nothing to do with you guys aren't going to get it. Even Travis, who's the one of the main mods on the channel, doesn't even know what FFX is. Maybe I'll tell you at the end of the show. I have Lamar, JD5, CMC, Achane, Cook, Mostert, Tank Bigsby, Rice, Waddle, Reed, Worthy. Was offered 3-team trade. I give up Cook and Rice for St. Brown and Waddle and Mostert for Mason. What? I give up Cook, Rice for St. Brown and Waddle and Mostert for Mason. That doesn't make any sense, XDS. I give up Cook and Rice for St. Brown and Waddle and Mostert for Mason. So you get Mason. If you get Mason and St. Brown and Waddle, you're crushing the trade. If that's what you're getting. If I'm reading that word salad correctly. Xavier Worthy or Demarcus Robinson, give me Worthy all day long. He's going to be one of my favorite buys of the week, bro. Absolute savage buy of the week. Worthy, Gibbs, Mahomes. It's going to be a great week. Week 3 go-get show. It's going to be an amazing show. I know some of you are going to not like some of the picks. That's fine. I know some of you are giving up on Mahomes. That's fine. I know some of you don't like buying some of these guys, but that's fine. We're not all going to agree all the time. G-Money with the $20 hauler. G-Money, appreciate you. Mahomes, Amon-Ra, Puka Nacua, Rice, Lazard, Hopkins, Ford, Najee, Benson, Brooks, tight end Bowers. What trade should I consider? This team is rough. Thanks. Appreciate you, bro. Amon-Ra's hurt. Mahomes is not playing well. Puka Nacua is hurt. Rice is not playing well enough. You can't, this is like the same, the other question you had. I wish I could tell you to go do a move, but you can't. You can't trade Mahomes low. You can't trade Amon-Ra low. No one's buying these players. And you have Rice, who's one of my favorite targets for this kind of situation, because you can get like Rice in something and still maybe Brooks, because that's not hurt. It's just he's just out right now, coming back. It's not like he got injured. So Bowers is fantastic. You might have to unfortunately shop Bowers and Cooks for like some player that's being completely undervalued, or Najee and Cooks, or keep Benson kind of in the you got Kenneth Walker and Brooks for Kyron, Achane, JT, Barkley. Maybe this is a team that goes after Henry and you bank on Henry. I don't know. Using Ford and Brooks. There's the only avenue for you at all. Maybe Brooks and Nacua for an injured St. Brown. Brooks and Nacua for an injured St. Brown. That would be good. Giving somebody Brooks makes them kind of want to do it. Brofist Brad with a $20 hauler. Smitty, injury bug hit me. I'm 2-0, 12 team, half PPR, 2 flex, 2 wide receiver. Kyler, HM, Mason, Pacheco, Brian Robinson probably, Jalen Wright, Chase, Kupp, Reed, Brian Thomas Jr., Laporta, Kincaid. That tight ends situation, you probably have to wait though. You wait until Laporta or Kincaid break out, and then you're going to trade that breakout one and bank on the other if you want. You don't necessarily have to. I'm starting Laporta right now. But, I mean, Pacheco and Laporta could land you freaking a doubting, like, what if Achane has 20 yards next week? People are very fickle, bro. You could easily make this move, make a move like it, but you have to, or not Achane, you have Achane, JT. JT could have 20 yards, and all of a sudden JT can be had using, Kincaid does well or Laporta does well. I'm potentially looking in that direction. You could also try and trade Laporta now because a lot of people do know what time it is with Laporta. You could trade Laporta right now. Laporta and Pacheco for a JT, for a Barkley. Barkley had a mediocre game. Those are moves that I think could turn that team around pretty quickly. We've got several super chats still here. I'm trying to get through them real quickly. Let me put them on screen in order in which they're received. This one's from Landon. This one's from Bruce. Appreciate you, Bruce. This one's from Kenobi. Kenobi, thanks, pal, for dropping the super chat. Poor boy says, Tank Dell and Eckler for Taylor in a heartbeat. Jonathan Taylor in a heartbeat, bro. That's not even close. That's almost veto material. Lunchbox, appreciate your super chat. Got to put you in the corner there. This one's from Kenobi. Or did I already get this one on screen? I did. Okay, let me close that, Kenobi. Appreciate you, Kenobi, for dropping it. This one's from Amy Standdown, Stroud, Fields, ETN, Mason, Kyron, Brown, Mason. I got two Masons again. Wright, Nico, Lamb, Kupp, Dell, Reed, JSN. You got a lot of talent. Carr, Steele, P. Ryan. I kind of like P. Ryan and Steele if you can make it happen, but honestly, I don't know if there's a lot to drop here, so probably won't be able to. This team's pretty good. It's still so good. I mean, Nico and Lamb and Dell, Reed, you're fine. You can do without Cooper Kupp. You're still going to win. Mason, Kyron, ETN, it's really good. Stroud. I don't think there's anything here unless you're maybe trading, let's say, a Mason. You got a Mason or an ETN with a Reed to get a Gibbs. Mason and Reed for Gibbs. ETN and Reed for Gibbs or Breece Hall type player. Like top of the food chain type of move. Trade my MHJ and Monty for Breece and DJ Moore. No. I think Monty's pretty solid. I don't trust DJ Moore. I'm going to take Monty and MHJ. That's a real tough one, though. That's a real tough one. Trade my Kyron for Monty, Henry, or another running back. Kyron, no. Kyron is still an absolute stud to me. He scored a touchdown in each of his first two games here. I don't know why people are freaking out so much. What's up, Smitty? 1-1 now. Mahomes, Kupp, Deebo, Dell, Worthy, Terry, Coleman, Mitchell, Wright, down bad. Yeah, I mean, Dell and Worthy and Scary Terry, I just trust it, bro. Trust the process. Get him out there. Get Connor Bijan out there with your quarterback and trust those wide receivers. I'm going to say stand down unless you can trade Brooks and one of them, the injured ones, for a slight upgrade or go after that St. Brown type situation. Tank Dell and Eckler for Taylor. Definitely take Taylor and run, bro. That's easy. That's an easy call. XDS has a question over here. I'm going to get to that next because he asked one and I didn't. I don't know if I completely understood it or something, if I remember correctly. Alex, appreciate you there. PK, appreciate you here. Rock Out, dropping another one. My bad, team is QB. Let me get to that one in a second. Rock Out, appreciate you dropping that. Rock Out to the moon. This one, Derek Carr or Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go with Stafford, even though he's running up against a pretty rough wide receiver room. I don't know. Guys, Stafford or Carr? Carr does look pretty good. Ziggy, I don't know. Never mind, Ziggy.
From Cambridge.org.
Ziggy, off.
I've known Daniel since we were in
Ziggy,
school
off.
together.
Ziggy, off. Vote on that one, guys. Carr or Stafford, please. I think maybe I'm just I need to bank on what Carr is doing right now and just say it is what it is until it's not. But yeah, I guess Carr. I'm going to say Carr. I mean, there's something special going on in New Orleans right now. There's something solid. We got a Carr vote across the board. Carr. There you go. Carr's the guy. JD5, CMC, Achane, Cook, Mostert, Tank Bigsby, Rasheed Rice, Waddle, Reed, Worthy, Dortch. Was offered 3-team trade. I give up Cook, Rice, and Brown and get... I give it Cook, Rice, and Brown and Waddle and Mostert for Mason. I give up Cook and Rice for St. Brown and Waddle and Mostert for Mason. I think this is the one I just read. It's still confusing, so it's got to be the same one. But again, if he's getting Mason for Mostert at the end of that, then I love it. Mahomes and X2 to a owner for Gibbs. Mahomes and X. Who the hell is X, Fitzy? Are you trying to say Xavier Worthy? Because that is a wild assumption that I'm going to get that one right. Mahomes and X to Tua owner for Gibbs, for Gibby. I don't know what X. I don't know what X is, Fitzy. I think it's Xavier Worthy, but I'm not sure. And I guess my answer, if it was Worthy, is as follows: Mahomes and Worthy to Tua owner for Gibbs. X means anyone. Okay. Mahomes and anyone to Tua owner for Gibbs. Love is a free agent. No, I'm not. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess Love. So Love and Gibbs. Yeah, if you need it, Fitzy, you need it. Go ahead. If you need it, go ahead. If you need to make a move, go ahead. I'm okay with that because you're drafting Gibbs ahead of Mahomes. So pick up Love. Love will be fine. He'll be back. Probably be back week 5. That's what he's targeting. Jaden Daniels, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Ridley, Tom Brady, Brian Thomas Jr., Coleman, Kyron Williams, Jordan Mason, Stevenson, Kenneth Walker, B. Rob Jr., Garendo, Bowers, heavy running back. What package should upgrade wide receiver? I'm keeping Devontae Smith. I'm going to do Garrett Wilson and B. Robinson Jr. for a St. Brown or above. Obviously, MHJ. I'd trade Ridley and B. Rob Jr. for, and obviously Chase in the first one, for the same type of player, really. You know, you're just not going to be able to go as high up. Kenneth Walker and Kenneth Walker and Ridley for Kyron. Oh, you got Kyron. Achan, Barkley, JT. Man, I used to be saying Pacheco all the time with these types of trades. Be like, Pacheco, now we can't get Pacheco at all. Pacheco's not even a thing anymore. I don't know if Pacheco will ever return to his old self. I don't think he can. $10 hauler QBs: Mahomes, Tua, Kyron, Achan, Wright, Corum, Davis, Dowdle, Hunt, Kupp, Worthy, Jamo, Keenan, Keon, Kincaid. Scooped up Hunt. Who is the best ad? Allen, Steele, or Ned? I think I answered this one already. The answer is going to be Allen. Allen based on talent. Steele's pretty damn good, and I want to put a claim in for both of them because Steele can help you probably a little bit more now. Andrew, appreciate you. Do you send Josh Allen and Kareem Hunt to the Pacheco owner for Lamb? Josh Allen and Kareem Hunt. Your other receivers are AJ Brown, Rice. You can grab Purdy or Darnold or... I don't know, man. Purdy's losing all of his weapons. So Josh Allen and Kareem Hunt and a Pacheco owner for Lamb. So Purdy and Lamb. I guess, bro. If you need a move, yes. If you don't need a move, stick with Josh Allen and keep winning. Because that's a tough one. That's such a tough one. But some of you need to make a trade. Some of you need to make a move. If you need to make a move, you need to make a move. It is what it is. Should I worry with Monty as my number 2 running back? It depends on how you can replace him. What can you replace him with? I mean, I like Monty, so in general, I'm not real worried about that. I feel like I need to trade, so I don't need to have Beast on my bench. I have Bijan, Kyron, Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, MHJ, Ford, Worthy, Sharps, running back handcuffs. Look, that depth is nice. I don't think I'm assuming that MHJ's in your lineup, Tank's in your lineup, and Devontae Smith's in your lineup. Worthy for Tank, swap out Worthy and Tank for right now, but it's your team's good. You don't need to trade Sharps. I don't think you're so much depth that you're recklessly holding it. I like exactly what you have, and I stand down. Superflex defenses are boosted in these leagues. Allen, Murray, Josh Allen and Murray is crazy. Kenneth Walker. Maybe you can trade Darnold. Kenneth Walker and Darnold for something, an upgrade. Mason, love it. Pollard and Darnold, Kenneth Walker and Darnold, try and get yourself into, a slightly better player. Kenneth Walker into Kyron, Achane, JT. Gibbs is my favorite buy low right now at running back. And Kyron. Kyron is too. Mason, this is all good. MHJ and Waddle and Brian Thomas Jr. are absolutely fantastic. Throw Higgins into those other deals to get that upgraded running back if need be. That's a great throw in. My bad says rock out. QB Purdy, Tua, Carr, running back JT, Walker, Stevenson, Dowdle, Algier, Puka out of Evans, Hill, Jamo, McCaffrey, Robinson, 80, Cooks, and tight end Pitts. My bad. The team is. There's no question here, rock out. That's just the team. I don't know. Remember to include the question in here. I don't know if you had another question like in another super chat or something. Let's see here. What did he say? 3 players out of 1. I know it's not. I think you're just saying you got injured. Damn, man. That's crazy. My bad. The team is QB, Purdy, Tua, Carr, JT, Walker, Stevenson. What about trading Stevenson and Higgins or Walker and Higgins right now? I mean, I'd trade Jamo if need be with Walker or Stevenson to try and get into that like JT, Kyron, Achane, Barkley territory. Gibbs territory. So like, could a Stevenson and Puka injured get you something like that? I don't know. You can try. Higgins, all that can be tried. It's all very possible. You can do it. I believe in you. PK, 12-team, full PPR. QB Hurts, running backs ETN, Moss, Chase, DK, McBride, Flexes, Waddle, Bench, Dunze, IR Brooks. Making trades here. Brooks is always great to trade right now. Brooks and Waddle for St. Brown injured. Brooks and Waddle for Jamar Chase, but you already have them, so you're good. DK, look, your receivers are good. I'm probably going after RB, so we're going to say Brooks and ETN, or potentially a Waddle, since he's your flex. Waddle and ETN for, God, you could ask for the moon. Go get Bijan. Bijan's not blowing up right now. Everyone knows he could. The volume's there. It's a matter of time. ETN and Waddle for Bijan and something. I'd even get something back. I don't know that I'd even do it straight up. Moss and Waddle for Kyron, Achane, Barkley, JT, Jahmyr Gibbs, especially Jahmyr Gibbs. Especially Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. Rock out, thanks again for your super chat, my guy. And Boone, appreciate you with the PPR Hopkins and Charbonnet for Waddle. I'd take Waddle in a heartbeat, bro. Fizzin, appreciate you. Trade my Connor, Wilson, Ridley for JT, MHJ, Worthy. Trade my Connor, Wilson, and Ridley. Yes, I'd smash that. Or Mixon, Wilson, Ridley for Kamara, MHJ, Worthy. Kamara, MHJ. I'd rather have JT, but they're both good. I'd smash both of them. Have Lamb, Nico, Cook. That's great. Your team's absolutely fantastic, bro. Nice job. Absolutely nice job. Poor man, what trade can I get for JT and get back? JT for like a Rashee Rice and Jacobs, combo like that. Yeah, or straight up MHJ. Straight up St. Brown injured if you're wanting to take that gamble. McGinnis, appreciate you. 14-team league. Burrow, J.K. Dobbins, Aaron Jones, Braylon Allen, Nico, DJ Moore. It's a good team. I don't like DJ Moore. I like trading DJ Moore and Aaron Jones for one bigger monster, bro. Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron, Achane, JT, MHJ, St. Brown injured. All those players are pretty attractive. Aaron Jones and DJ Moore trades. And honestly, I'd probably take Jacobs over Aaron Jones and DJ Moore, especially if you can also get something in it. Just traded Amon-Ra and Dell for Nico Collins and Garrett Wilson. Amon-Ra and Dell for Nico and Garrett Wilson. I'd take that. Now I have Stroud. And yeah, bro, Smitty approved that trade, Alex. That's a really good trade. Need to upgrade tight end. Just lost Deebo. Got trade my Schultz and Reed for Bowers and Thielen. I'd take Bowers. Bowers is the real mother freaking deal. I would take that. Can Hunt become the Chiefs' bell cow? I don't know. I don't think so, but it's certainly possible. I think we just need to hear what's up. He definitely could learn the system very quickly because he knows it. 12-man PPR, 0-2. Chase, MHJ, fire. Devontae Smith, fire. Jacobs, Connor, Mason. With Mason and Jacobs, that's pretty good. Ford, Pitts, Allen, what should I do? Maybe Ford or Connor or Jacobs. One of those guys, maybe to upgrade JSN and one of those guys to get just a slightly better player, somebody that we're ranking a lot higher from that St. Brown to the Kyron, to the HN level, the Barclays, the JTs, I said I'm on Raw, St. Brown. So you might have some of these guys. I'm just gonna read off, for everybody else too. The Garrett Wilson, the Justin Jefferson, of course. But I don't know. You get to a certain place where like it's Rice. Do I want you to trade for Rice? I do. Do I want you to trade for at RB a player like JT, Kyron, HN, ETN? ETN makes a fine go-get player in these kinds of scenarios where you've got Connor, or I keep Mason, but Connor and maybe JSN. Maybe you get an ETN. Maybe you get a Jacobs potentially. JSN and Connor for Jacobs. I don't know. You could argue Connor's better. Some could argue. Oh, you got Jacobs. Damn it. You got Jacobs there. I was wondering where I saw Jacobs. But you get my drift. Scotty Do, appreciate you. Any buy low trades? Baker, Burrow, Ford, Mason, Walker, Brooks, Monty, Wright, Braylon Allen, MHJ, AJ Brown, Higgins, Godwin. I'm trying to trade Higgins and Brooks for one player, bro. Higgins and Walker for one better player. Higgins and Ford, same thing. I'm keeping Mason. I'm keeping probably, you could trade Monty too. I'm keeping MHJ. AJ Brown's hard to trade at this point. I mean, if you coupled him with Brooks, maybe you could trade Brooks and AJ Brown for an injured St. Brown or a player like Rashee Rice or something like that. Or you just trade straight up for Rashee Rice. Or Higgins and Brooks for Rashee Rice might even work. Higgins for Worthy straight up is something I'd do all day long. This one here is I have Mahomes, HN, Mason, Nico, Drake, London, Brock Bowers, and Worthy. What do you think? How can I improve this team? I love the team, bro. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold this team. I don't want you trading a thing because every player you have I like. I don't have much bench to look at, so it is what it is. I don't want to trade any of those players. You're going to create a hole for yourself. After you fill one hole, you're going to create two more in the ship, and the ship's going to sink. AJ Brown and Kincaid for Barkley. Yeah, you got to do that with AJ Brown being out for several weeks now, multiple weeks. That's a great move to make. Just traded Jordan Mason, Neighbors, and Josh Downs for JJ and Ladd. Mason and Neighbors. I'd rather have Mason and Neighbors, to be honest, man. But it's close. It's not bad. You didn't get blasted or anything. But I'd like Neighbors enough that, JJ's the guy, but you're getting Mason on top of that. But if Mason got hurt, you would be in a good spot where you made the right move, Got Stroud, Brees, Achane, Mason, Wilson, Dell, McLaurin, Pickens. Any moves? Brees, Stroud, Achane, no. Mason, love it. Wilson, Dell. I like it, man. Pickens and Jamo and McLaurin, Pickens combos. Like that, am I trying to maybe get that Rashee Rice in the mix, the Josh Jacobs using that trio? Absolutely. I keep Kincaid, Pickens and Jamo, McLaurin and Jamo, or even a Garrett Wilson and Jamo, or Garrett Wilson and Pickens for an upgrade, like Jamar Chase type player. I love Gibbs as well. If there's a way to get Gibbs, Mason and a wide receiver for Gibbs is something I'd definitely explore. Rockout says, I used to be cool at fantasy football. You're still cool in my eyes, Rockout. You're an absolute legend here on the Fantasy Football Show. And you got lots of leagues. I know you're doing well in some of them, bro. You just one league's pissing you off. I trade Brees Hall for Tom Brady in a 30 rack of nachos, says Chad. It's understandable, Chad. And this one here is lost Kupp, unfortunately. Should I try and move Kyron for 2? Other running backs are Jacobs and Monty. Wide receivers left are Rice, Neighbors, and Dell. I like your receivers, so I'm not too worried about that, to be honest with you. So I'm going to say stand down and trust those 3 wide receivers. They're pretty good. Those are pretty good wide receivers, to be honest. I think you're going to be okay. Membership question from Celestial, appreciate you. AJB might be out until the bye week 5. Yep, definitely. So you hold unless you can sell, high, which I don't think you can. The only thing you can do is sell on a 2-for-1, give AJ Brown something for something, and then people tended to get to overpay. My team Superflex, Love, T-Law, Cook, Allen, Garrett Wilson, Nico Rice, Watson. What do you do with your team, Garrett Wilson, Nico Rice? I think you just, this is a good squad. You're waiting on Love, which kind of sucks, but you got good players. Cook or Kenneth Walker are both for one player, or both of those guys for one player, or one of them with maybe I don't know. I don't think you can really throw like a Yoshi Voss involved. It's gonna be hard for you. Maybe you upgrade your quarterback using Cook or Kenneth Walker. But don't trade both of them unless you're getting an RB. Trade both of them for an RB upgrade, or trade one of them to get your quarterback into an AR5 or Mahomes, who are very undervalued. Thank you for those celebratory messages. That's all she wrote for tonight, guys. I'm zonked. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll have tons of content tomorrow. Tomorrow's the buy low video. Appreciate every single one of you super chatters. Appreciate all your subscribes, broskies. We got to the 29,000 mark tonight. You can see over my head. We are currently sitting at 29,043 subscribers, and we have 1298 in the building right now. If you have not subscribed and you're one of the 1298, please punch that button and get this to 29.1K tonight before the live stream ends. I can't ask you for anything more than to subscribe to the channel, and I promise you I'll earn your subscribe, because I go live, I believe, and I think everybody in here will tell you and say it's true, more than anybody on YouTube, practically, let alone in the fantasy football space. We go live whenever news breaks. Every single time a piece of news breaks is major, I might wait an hour to digest it, or wait for the reports to come together, because sometimes I go live too early. We get the confirmation, and then it's like, this guy may be out for the year, and then all the titles and graphics. So I my rhyme and reason is sometimes why I wait. But I'm live whenever big news breaks. So if something big happens, just check out the channel. Make sure your notifications are on. I'm live at 8 p.m. every single Monday through Friday. You noticed my lost voice. I already lost my voice, and we're entering week 3. Live most midnights Eastern to draft. We'll be doing more of that this week. I know we didn't do a ton of it last week, so we will be doing more of that this week. So I promise you. Big South dropping a super chat here. Got Ridley for James Conner. Should I sell? Got JT and Ridley for James Conner. I would just hold that. That's fantastic. Or you could couple both of them and go get Bijan, if you want it. But that's a solid duo to just hang on to and utilize. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to my $50 haulers tonight. I got Mort. Thank you, Mort. Thank you for my $20 haulers from drafting. $20 hauler from Rock Out. Thank you, Rock Out. Rock Out is absolutely amazing. My phone lines have been closed all day, Rock Out. I don't know if you called it real quick or anything. I'm sorry if I missed it. Thomas, Racing Boy. I was having issues with the phone line. I reset them. I think they work, but I don't even know if I'm opening the phone lines. I'd open it for Rock Out real quick, but then I got to jump. G Money, Brofist, Brad. Appreciate you all with the super chats. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for those 20s. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for being here. And we got I got all the super chats cleared. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. See you tomorrow. Oh, FFX. Yeah, it was for Fantasy Football Extreme. But it I don't own it anymore. It redirects to some weird site, so I wouldn't go there. But it used to be my first home, and then I migrated the names. Now it's my content is on thefantasyfootballshow.com, but that was back in the day. All right, see you all later. Appreciate you. Now all my content's at thefantasyfootballshow.com. That was back in the day, though.